Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make some good wheels for your CO2 car. Um, design is up to you, but there's a few things that I would suggest to be consistent in your wheel. One is that to fit the launcher, the CO2 car launcher, you want a wheel that is uh, particularly, especially the back wheel. You're going to want it to be 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters by 3 millimeters. So this one here, it's 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, and the thickness of the actual wheel part is 3. That 10 refers to this hub as well. But the thickness of this part here, is 3. Then the wheel has, regardless of design, the wheel has a hub. I'm going to call this kind of center thing the hub. That hub is 8 millimeters by 8 millimeters by 8 millimeters, and it's 10 millimeters tall. And then the hole that the axle is going to fit through should be 3 millimeters by 3 millimeters and 10 millimeters long, I guess, that goes in. And that hole does not go all the way through, so it's a couple millimeters above. If that's enough information for you to go and just do it, then great. But I'm going to show you how to make a wheel itself if you want to follow along in the video. One thing I want to say before we get started is if you want your front wheels to be the same size as your back wheels, that will work great. If you want your front wheels to be a little bit smaller, you can do that, but just know that if you take this wheel, I'm going to copy paste it. If you take this wheel here and you just shrink it down, this scale shrink it down to something smaller like this, it won't work because the problem is that that hole is not the right size, right? You're going to scale the hole down as well. It's too small. So that is not going to work. So if you wanted to make a smaller wheel for this, I would copy paste this, right? And if I want to make a smaller one, I have to ungroup it, pull this hub out, and then this would be scaled down, right? And then I would end up putting the hub kind of back, right? But I would have to center it and all that, but you get the idea, right? So just don't shrink the hub with the wheel if you end up deciding you want to do that. So I'll delete that. All right, well, so with the basics there, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get started. And I'm just gonna make a design that's a little bit like this one, I should say. So I'm gonna get this thing, oops, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Oops, nope, try it again. Get this out of the way here. All right, so I'm gonna replicate more or less this kind of design here. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull out our shapes here, and I'm gonna pull out a cylinder, and I want it to be 50 by 50 by 3. So I'm gonna make it 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters by 3, right? Pretty thin wheel. Now, if I zoom in on this, you'll see that it has like a chine to it. It's actually got some little bumps in there. See those bumps? There's little bumps there. I want to get rid of those bumps. So I'm going to take this shape and I'm going to increase the number of sides all the way up as far as it'll go. And that's going to smooth out those bumps. Otherwise, it's going to be a real bumpy ride. All right, so there is the basic wheel. And then we'll go ahead and make the hub. So the hub is 8 millimeters by 8 millimeters by 10 millimeters. So I'm going to make a hub here. And it is 8 millimeters. So it's a cylinder, 8 millimeters by 8 millimeters by 10. So this is 10, enter. There's that. And then the hole that goes into that is going to be 3 by 3 by 10. So I'll bring out a cylinder hole and I'll make it 3 millimeters by 3 millimeters by 10. Actually, I'm gonna leave it at 20. I'm gonna change that to 20 because it's just gonna kind of go in, so doesn't matter. All right, so 20, cool. Okay, now this hole is gonna have to be centered perfectly in this hub. So to do that, we're going to align them. So select them both, right? Select the hole and the hub. Select them both. So they're both selected. And click on the Align tool. And we're going to align it in the center this way and in the center this way. All right. Now, as it is right now, that hole goes all the way to the bottom. And I don't want it to cut all the way through. So I'm going to take that hole and I'm going to lift it 2 millimeters off the ground. So in that spot, I'm going to hit 2. And now it just raised up 2 millimeters. And now it's not going all the way through, which is what I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and select them both, and I'm going to group them, and that is the hub. Now I just need to align the hub and the wheel. So I'm going to select those two objects, and I'm going to align them in the center this way and in the center this way. And there is a wheel. Now that's a very boring wheel. It would work, but it's kind of boring. So, and also it'll be heavier. It's more plastic than we need. So I want to cut some holes out, create, make the wheel lighter, but I just want to make sure that there's enough plastic around here that it doesn't weaken, and break. So we don't got to get too close to the edge. So I'm going to drag out a cylindrical hole here, and I'm going to stretch it out and shrink it down until it's maybe about the right size there. Something like that. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and just place that I'm going to go to top view so I can look at it straight down. And now I'm going to change this nudge to 1/4 millimeter. Give myself a little bit more detail. So there's one there. All right. Now I'm going to copy paste that by hitting this duplicate, and it'll just put it right on top. And then I can right arrow it over until it matches the other side. Okay. So just to make sure that there's enough plastic there and enough plastic there. That one looks like it could come out maybe a little bit more. I'm just going to try to make it look good. Yeah, kind of eyeballing that a little bit. All right, so there's two of them. That's for those two. And again, you can do lots of other designing. Okay, so now that I have these two, I'm going to select them both. And one way you can do that is click on one of them, hold down the Shift key, and click on the second one. And I've got them both. And then I can duplicate and repeat that. And then I'm going to rotate those two 45 degrees, or 90 degrees, I guess, 90 degrees. And let's take a look at that. Now, if I do it like that, that is going to get too thin. That's probably going to break. So I think I might shrink this down a little bit. Try to place it there. Do the same thing here. Shrink it down a little bit and place it there. So that's an idea. I can shove those down in. So I'll click on that one, hold the Shift key, click on that one, shift that one, and then drag them down. Oh, this one didn't go. Drag that one down until they cut all the way through. And let's group it and see how it looks. All right, so that's a wheel. That would work. But maybe you want to do something more different. So I'm gonna click on that one and delete it, and click on that one and delete it. And to get this weird shape, I used the sketch tool. So I just dragged out a sketch, and I just kind of I just kind of drew something really. I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of do something interesting here. Yeah. I don't know. Let's try that. Oh, okay. Well, not great, but finish sketch. All right, and then this can become a hole, and I can place it in here, and I can stretch it out until I feel like I have, oh geez, something that'll be the right size. That's too big. There's that one. There. I don't know. That's just a thought. Maybe I'll drag that down a little bit. And then I want to put one on the other side, but I want it to be mirrored, so I'm going to duplicate it. Boom. I'm going to arrow it up to the exact opposite side, and then I'm going to mirror that this way. And now it looks like that. And let's take a look at that. So if I have to click on this one and shove it into the wheel, shove that one down in, so some of it's above, some of it's below, same thing here, kind of shove it through so they all kind of go all the way through, right? Now let's take a look. Let's group it and see how it looks. Okay, that's kind of fun. So there's an idea for another wheel. If I wanted 4 of these, I would just duplicate that, and I'd have a second one, and I'd duplicate that, and I'd have a third one, and then I'd have a fourth one, and you'll send those 4 wheels to me. Yeah, or any other design that you like. Just make sure it has the proper hub, which we talked about with this dimensioning right there. To send me your design, you're going to go into the send to. You're going to scroll down to the bottom of that, click on invite people. You're going to generate a link. You're going to copy that link, and you're going to go into your Gmail, and you're going to Gmail me that link. And then I can 3D print your wheels. If there's a particular color that you want, look at the 3D printers and see in my classroom and see what color of 3D filament is loaded into the 3D printers. And then just say in your message, like, please print in yellow or blue or black or whatever colors we have. I can't promise that I'm going to be able to do that. If I get a lot of designs sent to me, I just have to kind of batch print them. But I'll try my best to honor your color requests if I can. All right, well, there you have it. And get those wheels sent to me, and I think you'll really be happy with how they look on your CO2 car. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.